Today I'm taking a look at the new auto sampler feature within the MPC Live, which was a part of the firmware update 2.3 that dropped just recently. And I'm going to be looking at this standalone without the software. Clearly that's a part of what my channel is about getting the best out of the MPC Live standalone. And today I'm going to create a key group using the auto sampler feature, and I'm going to sample in I'll sample in one of these instruments I'll pick one out from my Yamaha MX49. For a lot of you guys who use the MPC Live, if you're like me and you want to use it standalone, say you have a lot of gear like this that you don't want to carry around with you, you want to be able to use it, play these samples in your MPC Live and just take something like, say, this little keyboard right here in a backpack. So a great thing about this auto sampler is that it's going to multi-sample this instrument and pretty much do this automatically for me. I just got to set up a little bit and I can walk away, go do something else, and it'll be ready in a short period of time. If you have some gear like this, say an external sound module, synthesizer, whatever, that uses MIDI, you probably already know this, but I'm going to state it anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my MIDI cable. See if I can even see that from here. Let's lift this up. So I'm going to set this up. My MIDI cable is going to be going out. I just have it plugged into MIDI out A. And that's going to the input of my external sound module, which is my Yamaha MX49 synthesizer. So that's all I need there. And then of course I'm going to need the outputs, the audio outputs of my Yamaha synthesizer, whatever it is you have. What I have going is I have the Yamaha plugged into my PV mixer, which then outputs into my MPC Live's inputs here. So as far as hardware goes, as far as it set up there, that's just about all you have to do. Now everything else is within the MPC Live. I got to turn my monitor on. At the moment, I cannot hear what's going on, what's playing through my keyboard. Turn it on. So I was looking at this. I don't have many guitars inside of my MPC Live, so I think I want to sample this classical guitar inside my Yamaha MX49 so I can have it on the go and playable with this little mini keyboard here, wherever I want, whenever I want. Alright, so I'm going to hit main, go to the main screen, and next thing I need to do is I got to pick a MIDI track. My MIDI track is set to MIDI out A and MIDI channel 1, so I just need to make sure that my external keyboard synthesizer sound module is on channel 1 as well. From here I will enter the sampler screen, and now at the top of the sampler screen we have a new icon, and this is our auto sampler icon. Click that. So it says this is the current track which determines what will be sampled. Track 1, where I have my MIDI channel 001, input 1 and 2. My inputs here, 1 and 2. And let's scroll down. Okay, I have a note range. So the note range will be from C2 right now. It's set from C2 to C4, which would be, about 2 octaves. So I want a little more than that. So I'm going to scroll over and let's go to probably C. I'm gonna go as far back as C. Let's just go C0. No, I'm gonna do C1. I think that's probably enough. And then up to C6. Now the next thing is note stride, and the best way that I understand this is that what stride is representing is actually I believe, is semitone. So it will sample the keyboard at this moment right here that I have set to every 5 semitones. So the further off, the higher this number, the less notes it'll sample in between each other. And the lower the number, the more samples it will record. So in turn being a higher, a better sounding multi-sample or key group. So I'm going to do 3. I think that's a nice area there. A nice number to do. You have the option of doing layers. I don't believe that this multi-sample is very actually layered. I'm just going to do 1 layer. You know what? Let's do 2 layers. Let's see how that goes. Not to overlook extend minimum and maximum notes. I can't really talk too much on that. I haven't explored that. I really try to clarify that for myself, and I try to keep these videos as real and like expedient as possible. Being that this just came out, you know, I want to jump on top of it and share with you guys. So let's just document this process. I'm going to do 2 layers. Moving down. Okay, now we have sampling note length. Note length. So that should be pretty obvious, right? So this is about 6 seconds. I'm going to take a listen. It sounds like these guitar tones don't ring out more than 8 seconds. So I'm going to do 8,000 milliseconds there. Choice of a tail. I'll just leave it as is. And this is where I'll name my program. So this is going to be just a classical guitar. So I'm going to name this classical. Okay, so now that that's named, once my key group is created, once this is going and once it finishes, all my samples will be named according to the name of my, let's say it says bass name there, and my key group will be named automatically as well. Now I have options for looping. And now for this guitar, I don't think I necessarily need a loop. My samples will just play and ring out. Auto trim start. Fade type. Equal power linear. Again, this is stuff that I haven't explored too much, and I won't claim to know too much about it. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at its default and see how it sounds. Make current program. So once the process of auto sampling is finished, my new key group will be set as the program that is ready to be played. And then over here at the bottom, it has info, and it says this is how long it will take to create my program, or exactly how much time all the notes sampled, how much space and how much time it will take is 360 seconds, if that makes sense to you. So I'm pretty much done. All I got to do now is hit OK and just wait, and you'll hear the sampling in progress. And you notice you got a little progress bar right there. So I'll definitely cut through this so you don't have to wait. I will definitely cut through this so you do not have to wait and watch this as it samples. So as you can hear, it's doing 2 layers. You're hearing the same note being played twice. And to me, it sounds like these notes are very similar, so the layers probably wasn't necessary. I'm hearing some slight differences perhaps with the layers there, so it might be a cool thing to have these layers in my key group. But of course, more layers, more samples, more space that's being taken up in the MPC Live. But I think for what I do, I'll have enough space. Alright, coming up here on the end of the auto sampling process. There we go. And so right off, there is my key group program created. And now let's take a listen. I'm going over here to my little MIDI keyboard. I have that plugged in to the back here. And let's take a listen. So whether I needed those layers or not, I don't know. If there's any difference, it's super subtle. Pretty cool though. That's how my loop sounds. That needs some fixing there, as you can see. I think I would just, for a guitar key group like this, multi-sample, I would probably just turn the looping off. I could probably go in to my but I'd have to go into my samples, I think. So I'd just go in and turn my looping off and bring the endpoint all the way to the end. So this is something I should probably consider when I'm creating my key group and setting it all up before the auto sampling starts its process. And I need to explore that a little bit more, because if I were to go in and try to do this for everyone, it could get tedious, especially since I have multiple layers here. I have 2 notes per each note, or two layers per each note. So I'm scrolling through. These are a lot of samples, and that might take me some time, and it'd be pretty tedious for me to turn this loop off. So I don't need my loop on for all kinds of instruments, right? I don't need to do that looping stuff. If I want to, I can. I guess it's a preference. It's a way of saving space. But if you want something that sounds more organic, and when it comes to instruments that don't have long sustains, and they don't need to be looped, don't loop them, right? So going into sampler and then looking at these functions again, looking at all the setup, have the looping here. So I guess I could try to do this, I don't know. Loop start 0, loop end 0. So I'll have to try that again and see if it creates my my samples in my key group without any looping included. I'll go ahead and give it a try and then let y'all know in a second. No loop start, no loop end. I'm gonna go ahead and try to auto resample this again. And as soon as I cut this and come back, we'll see how that came out. Alright, coming up again on the end of this auto sampling process that I wanted to try one more time with the loop points, loop start and end points at 0 to see if it would just bypass any looping at all. I forgot to name this one, so I just named it MIDI 001 auto sampled. Let's check it out. So there you go. No looping applied that way. All you got to do is set your... All you got to do... Oh, okay. Well, look, it would have been that simple. I think what I did was I just went ahead and turned my loop ends and loop start to 0. But all you got to do up here is enable looping and just turn it off. It's as simple as that. So I should have just done that to begin with. But there you go. And that's my new guitar key group that I created for my MPC Live using the auto sampler feature and the new update for the firmware of the MPC Live 2.3. And I just got it out of my Yamaha MX49 synthesizer. And I can play it anywhere I want now, anywhere that I go. So that's a beautiful thing. Thanks for joining me in that process, and I hope it was helpful for you. Go ahead and subscribe for some more videos just like this. I'll be exploring the update 2.3 a little bit further in the near future. So subscribe for that. Check it out. And thanks for joining me. All right, peace, y'all.